Welcome to Clarion Connection. I'm Ron Wilshire, and with me today are John Stroup, Executive Director of the Clarion Hospital Foundation, and Joe Grunewald, Chair of the campaign for the Clarion Hospital Cancer Center. And we wanted to update everybody with some exciting news about the campaign, give a little bit of background of how it got started and what it's aiming for, and some current developments. So, John, we'll let you take it away.
Well, thank you, Ron. As always, a pleasure to be here. I know over the last couple of years we've had a chance to talk about different subjects, and even on this subject, a little bit kind of teasers along the way about what was going on at the Cancer Center. And as you know, we've been involved in a couple months now, about a year of trying to develop the capital campaign and moving on ahead with the capital campaign for radiation oncology equipment at the Cancer Center. And the radiation oncology equipment that we have there, we had a agreement at one point with another facility that ended the contract. When the contract ended, that brought forth this campaign that we're doing, So we're very encouraged that we've been able to do this, because this does give us the ability to actually control our own future. So, but what it is a campaign that we're trying to raise $2.5 million. A total amount of equipment we're going to purchase is $4.2 million we're looking at, and of the 2.5, it's for the radiation oncology equipment, some MRI equipment that will help detect some cancers, nuclear camera, and also a CAT scan. So those are all the four pieces of equipment that we're out there trying to raise money for. Like I said, $2.5 million of campaign. Right now, that we went through a stage for the last several months of internal solicitation of boards and of our steering committee, some larger donors, as well as our physician staff. So through this point, right now, I'm proud to announce that we have raised $1.4 million of the 2.5. So it really is a great start as we start to approach the community at large. A lot of things going on right now, and we'll talk about that a little later, I guess. But also the internal, the employee campaign will be starting soon too, in the next month or so. So we're getting into these stages and looking at it as a very positive thing that we are going to accomplish our goal of $2.5 million.
Now, despite the removal of the radiologic equipment for the Cancer Center still is very much open and for business?
Yeah, it is. In fact, on the chemo treatments, we have what very busy every day, regrettably so, I guess. But there's the medical oncology side of it is very active, and that's the one thing that we're saying, because when we talk about the radiation oncology side, that they're directing the radiation treatment to the spot of the cancer directly. And so that's one side. Then the medical oncology side is the other side with the chemotherapy, and that combined with the internal medicine part together, working, all parts of our cancer center are going to be advancing in the near future when we do purchase this equipment.
Before we get down the road, let's just tackle the elephant in the room, the so-called elephant in the room. The radiologic equipment that was there was somehow connected with UPMC, and there's some fear, concern in the community that perhaps UPMC is just going to come in and buy the hospital, or you're going to merge with them. Yeah. How do we address that, Joe?
Thanks, first of all, for having us on, Ron. Glad to have the opportunity to talk about the campaign. As John had indicated before, we had previously been in the radiologic oncology business. UPMC was a partner of ours, and when the 5-year contract that we had with them expired, they decided to remove their equipment and to ask us to refer our patients to their other facilities. We we, the members of the board of the hospital, had done a feasibility study, gave us the idea about what the financial opportunities here were and how whether or not we had the technological ability to deliver the service, and that's why we started the campaign. You're quite right that there's always a low-grade buzz out in our community about either being taken over, about being partnered, about being affiliated, about being purchased. As a member of the board, chairman of the policy committee, that would be the governance committee, and the chairperson of the affiliations committee, I can tell you that there's no offer on the table to purchase the hospital, to affiliate with the hospital, or to in any way partner in manners different than we want to partner. We do partner with UPMC in the moment. For example, in our emergency room, we partner with them in terms of providing emergency physicians. We partner along with our air flight partner to provide our helicopter services that are located on site. So it's not that we don't want to have any relationship with UPMC, but we don't want to be in a situation where we are essentially part of their network to be directed and controlled in terms of our service offering, our pricing policies, or our outreach to community. One of the reasons we're doing this campaign is to continue to provide additional net revenue to the hospital so that it can achieve the objective that the board has been pursuing, and that is to be an independent community hospital with a wide range of local services. That is our fundamental primary service proposition as a board, and we are committed to advancing that. So we look for opportunities, whether they're opportunities to save costs, like joint purchasing practices, which we are in a network with a number of small hospitals to join together to enhance our ability to buy in bulk, whether it's a partnership like the ones that we have with UPMC and other providers. We're working on those with Du Bois and Butler and other service providers to provide services that will enhance the viability of our hospital and to move forward with a wider, broader, deeper set of services that we can offer to the community. So the bottom line is this: we are an independent community hospital. We are viable and providing opportunities. We are profitable, and for as far as the eye can see, we're going to remain independent.
Well, it would seem that various partnerships are key to the strategic growth and viability of the hospital. I know the primary care health network just opened kind of across the street from the hospital.
Absolutely, and I think some would look at that as being a competitive environment for us, increasing the competition. But the reality is that that's a real win, not only for the hospital, but for the community. That particular facility will take care of indigent or underinsured or low insured or the essentially needy folks that have all kinds of medical needs. And so whether it's traditional medical, internal medicine, or optical or dental, whatever, that facility will provide services. Indeed, we will provide services there as well, and we're going to rent the top floor of that facility to provide direct services. The benefit to both comes in terms of the referral from that network into our hospital for all manner of tests. For example, blood work, x-rays, MRIs, CAT scans. All of those services will be provided by the Clarion Hospital on a fee basis for that community network. And so in that extent, it increases the revenues that we derive from our own community. Another important factor there is that it reduces the demand for our emergency room services so that individuals who don't have insurance or are underinsured don't automatically come to the emergency room as their primary service. Whether they should be in an emergency room or in a doctor's office is an issue for many. So they come to the emergency room. This clinic provides relief for the hospital in terms of the number of people who come and demand services as a result of not having insurance. So there's a classic example of how net revenues are increased, costs are decreased, and our broader palette of services, network-wise, are provided to the local community.
So it's good for Clarion County, it's good for the country.
All the way around. All the way around. I think what we're building in Clarion County and among our partnership is a good, solid network of services. And here it's a true network of partners. It is not an affiliation. It is not an ownership situation. It's not a control or governance issue. This is about organizations that see benefit in terms of relationship. We have signed agreements, written agreements to specify how things are to happen, whether it's on the business side, whether it's on the service provision side or whether it's on the referral side of the house, all of those things are specified, and we know what each of our partners brings, and we know what we need to provide for each of our partners, thus the community better off.
John, even while this campaign has been going on, there's been considerable growth and success at the hospital in attracting new doctors.
Yeah, there definitely has been. We've seen some great changes there. They've hired a couple surgeons, new surgeons that are really activating themselves in the community, trying to grow their practices. We talked a couple months ago about the breast center here, Ron. That's just one of the examples of some of the cancers that, they're going to, especially a new internist, going to be working with Dr. Lutter. Also, there's a new orthopedic surgeon coming into town. So all of these, and I'm sure I'm missing some, Joe, really off the top of my head, but there's been a realignment that way that shows that we're out there really into the community and trying to take a better, more patient care and worrying about what is needed in the community. And that's just not the cancers, but that's really what we're highlighting right now. There's no doubt about it. It is something that touches everybody in the community, and we're seeing that.
Not to give any trade secrets away, but how do you recruit the new physicians? I imagine it must be very competitive.
Oh, it is. It is. It takes a certain physician that way, Ron, as you well know, because they're not going to have, they're not in the city and stuff. But there are people out there, and we've talked before about they want to live in a community, a small community, a environment that they can raise their kid in a way that they grew up themselves. So there's some advantages too. We might have not all the advantages, but there's some advantages out there that we do promote. A different kind of lifestyle than they would have in the city.
But the practice of medicine seems to be changing too, and more people, more potential doctors want some place that they can work, but not overwhelming controls from the hospital.
Oh, yeah, you've seen that over the years in the doctors, and you are right. They don't want to be necessarily 24/7. They're still giving their all, but at the same time, there's a balance in their life, and this is a place that we can provide the balance.
I think one other thing we ought to point to is that advancing the technology agenda of the hospital is crucial, and this is in the context of recruiting high-quality doctors. So all of the imaging equipment that John had talked about, that the hospital has moved forward to purchase, this new linear accelerator, all of that enhances the technological agenda that draws the high-quality doctors, and many of those doctor opportunists come to us because they see a real opportunity to build a technology agenda in their practice. We would never have that opportunity if we didn't move forward with these kinds of purchases that assure those doctors, the members of our medical staff, that we're going to stay up on all of these technological advances so they can do the things they want to do. A new person in our OBGYN, for example, with a breast specialty needs certain medical imaging equipment to advance the kind of treatment that he sees as being important. A new urologist needs the kind of scanning equipment and the information systems that support the kind of diagnostic measurement that he needs. So these technology advancements are not just for the purpose of saying, wow, we got the latest bell and whistle on all of our machines. Rather, it's to provide the support for the high-quality surgeons, the high-quality internists, the high-quality medical practitioners that we want to see at work here in Clarion County.
And that's, I'd like to add on that, because I know close to some things here, Ron, but that's why our theme is really advancing cancer care close to home. And that is when we sat down to really thought about what we wanted our message to be, and that's exactly why we took it as our campaign theme.
Well, thank you. You're listening to Clarion Connection. We'll take a short break.
Hey, I appreciate you doing a testimonial for us.
You guys changed my life.
Well, thanks.
I'm on the radio?
Yep.
I'm on the air?
Yep.
And nobody knows it's me, right? Because I'm a very private person.
That's why we gave you a wig and blurred your face.
Oh, and did you disguise my voice?
Uh-huh.
Good. Ask away.
And what kind of job did you find at ClarionVanangoHelpWanted.com?
Oh, a retail job. I posted a resume in minutes. It was free, super easy.
Thank you, Bunny Grosky. We appreciate your help.
Oh, you just said my name.
There's a delay. We can edit it out.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
No. ClarionVanangoHelpWanted.com. Long name, amazing results.
Let's see what we're looking for. Techies, nerds, geeks,
Dorks, dweebs, goobers, goofballs,
misfits, bookworms,
brains,
screwballs.
Poindexters.
Good one. How about gurus?
Ooh, nice, but check this out. Turkeys, twerps, and twits.
At ClarionVenangoHelpWanted.com, we have dozens, maybe even hundreds of technical job openings for qualified local job seekers listed on our website.
Know-it-alls.
Long hairs.
Lab rats.
I've been called an oddball.
And me a rocket scientist.
ClarionVenangoHelpWanted.com.
Long name.
Amazing results.
Hibernation, a state of inactivity and metabolic depression in animals, characterized by lower body temperature, slower breathing, and lower metabolic rate. Ugh. Does this sound like you in the winter?
Hey, humans were never meant to hibernate. The antidote? Learn to ski or snowboard at Holiday Valley in nearby Ellicottville. You'll be surprised at how easy and fun it is to learn when you take a lesson with one of the pros. Learn to ski or ride packages are available every day and night, and they have everything you need to get started. So just bring your warm clothes and a smile. Double the fun with a friend or your whole family. Age is not a factor. January is National Learn to Ski and Ride Month. Get 20% off an introductory package including a lift ticket, lesson, and rental equipment. Go to holidayvalley.com to learn more.
Where fun never ends, great ski, great times, great friends. Where fun never ends, great ski, great times, great friends.
Welcome back to Clarion Connection. I'm Ron Wilshire, and today I'm talking with John Stroup and Joe Grunewald from the Clarion Hospital and their Cancer Care Close to Home campaign. John, do you want to go over what are the next steps for the campaign?
Well, as we talked about earlier, Ron, that we're really engaged in the community, building awareness right now within the community over the next several months. There's a lot going on activity-wise. I know, Steve, you participated a couple weeks ago at the Designing Minds Cut for a Cause, so that kind of built a little bit of awareness and got some good take out of that, and nice little fundraiser for us, roughly $3,500. Zumbathon was last weekend over in Knox. Tiki Kale has a couple other activities over there too that she's been very gracious to kind of organize, bringing awareness, and that's really what we're trying to do. There's on February 17th for the younger kids and maybe for the young adults, there's a dodgeball tournament going on over there, and again, February 6th is the Battle of the Berg. It's something that they did a couple weeks or a year ago down in Union and Keystone High School. Have a basketball game, and they collect money for that. Did very good fundraiser last year. They're hoping to donate the money to the radiation oncology equipment. February 17th, I said the dodgeball tournament. March 1st is Night at the Races, a horse race activity. It'll be a fun. I hear they're a great thing to do, and that's at the Knox Fire Hall. March 10th is the Save the Treasure Chest has been very great. A group that does raise money for Susan Komen, but they realize that yes, there's a reason for research, but there's also a reason to give locally. And that's really what they highlight because they give a lot of money back from that activity. Again, it's treating they know that they want to treat the local, their family, their friends, their neighbors with helping in the treatments of cancer. But that's March 10th, and that's a fashion show. And March 16th is a 5K run or walk. I guess I'd walk on that one myself. But it's a Lucky Leprechaun 5K run and walk, and that's March 16th. So these are kind of, and that's over in Knox too. These are all kind of activities that are raising awareness, and we're looking for some more, things that people realize, and it's that it's their neighbors that they're given to, and those are all things that are coming back to us. Not, I know there's reason for research, but at the same time, we want to see the treatments now. There's people that need them, your neighbors and friends, like I said before, that need that treatment now, not the research as much. So.
In addition to the various fundraising activities that seem to be spreading all through Clarion County, how does one make a donation? I assume certain people get asked, but do you want to just outline that basic procedure? Yeah,
as far as that, contact the Clarion Hospital Foundation, and my number is, of course, 814-226-1257, or Patty Bell's is 226-1257. 1262, and we will help you guide through that. And of course, the cash donations are great, and we have 3 and 5 year pledges, that people can make too if they want to give a bigger pledge over a longer period of time. Helpful for giving those multiple multi-year donations are very helpful on that. I said cash. There's also, you can give stock annuities, and there's ways to do that. But also the long-term gifts with the estates and planning that way, and the wills. That we will work with people on that. One of the things I like to mention too is, as I said, the IRA rollovers. I think through February they've extended. You can take the 2012 donation through February 1st. So that's coming short time, but at least a chance for those 70 and a half and older, if they didn't know what to do with their donation and want to do something for the Cancer Center, we're available. As far as working with them on those all kinds of gifts.
Well, as we speak about cash and money, let's look at the basic work that's being planned at the Cancer Center, and just ask the basic question: Can Clarion afford this?
Absolutely. I think it's important to know that our campaign is wrapped around high-quality cancer care close to home, and one of the ways we can support that is by advancing technology that attracts both doctors and patients. But longer term, the economic benefit of this project to the hospital is truly important. Remaining an independent community hospital means that we have to find independent sources of revenue. As John said earlier, it's regrettable that the cancer business is a growing business in our county. Our county, among all the 67 counties in Pennsylvania, is getting older quicker and has a higher percentage of elderly folks than most of the state. With that comes all manner of diseases, but in particular the disease of old age, cancer. As we look forward, we're pretty much assured that there will be an increasing number of people seeking these kinds of services in our county. As I indicated, the board did an economic feasibility study of this project based on the service record that we had prior. Our highest level of service the last year that the Cancer Center was in operation in the radiologic oncology area, we did 117 patients, and so our economic projections are based on a number in that area, about 120. And if we do that, and if we have the partnership with the hospital that we're looking to join up with, we'll generate a net revenue of about $700,000. Now, you hate to look at something like that in a financial context when it's really saving lives that is the business that we're in. But by the same token, we need to make sure that we can cover not only our costs for the radiation, but also the costs for those other services that are required that may not be able to cover their costs. So this particular service integrates with financially and medically with all of the other things that we're doing to make the hospital a stronger overall entity. So the economic aspect of the project internally is crucial. Externally, the economic impact of a strong hospital in our community is absolutely critical. I've been on the Economic Development Corporation and the Industrial Development Authority. I've watched all manner of loan applications, bond issues being forwarded, and certainly when companies, large companies, and insurance agencies and governmental entities come to Clarion and they want to know whether the environment is proper for the investment of millions of dollars, the first questions that they ask are, what is the general health of the university and the hospital? And a bad answer to either one of those questions ends up being not such a good thing for our community. The university is strong financially, even despite the challenges that are there, and the hospital is a strong entity within our community from an economic perspective. It's the second largest employer. The jobs are good, steady jobs, permanent jobs that support our local residents with a livable wage. And we provide the kind of economic outreach that has secondary effect. That is to say, vendors, suppliers, retailers, wholesalers, all manner of other businesses benefit because of the presence of a significant hospital presence. Any reduction in the size or service palette that we might offer reduces the general and local economic development aspect. So we want to make sure that not only does it make internal financial sense, but in our community, it also contributes in a significant way to the economic development and growth of businesses. And as we saw in the most recent employment numbers this week, it's pretty close for us to get that done. Our 9.7% unemployment is a function of a lot of other things that have happened negatively in the community. This is a positive that assures that when a business wants to expand, it can get financing, or when new businesses want to come here, they're going to have the kind of services, including medical services, directly provided to their companies that they need. So there are two aspects of the financial, both internal and external, that this particular project enhances.
Joe, when the campaign was first announced, there was some talk of the hospital actually buying the radiological equipment necessary for the treatment at the cancer center. Do you know where that stands now?
That's a good question, Ron, in as much as we are buying the particular piece of equipment is a linear accelerator, and it costs the $2.5 million that we're trying to raise. The hospital will own that device as opposed to renting it or reaching out to another service provider. The hospital will own that device. We have had the benefit of, over the last several months, to be engaged in conversations with West Penn Hospital that has one of the nationally recognized cancer treatment areas fully accredited, which is an important quality dimension that West Penn brings to the table, allowing us to be part of their 15-unit network. It also brings to us the opportunity to buy that machine, that linear accelerator, at a lower cost because West Penn will be buying so many of those over a 5-year period, 15 to be exact. We've delayed a little bit in terms of putting out our call for a proposal for that machine to allow us to finalize our relationship with West Penn. The master agreement has been prepared, and lawyers both for West Penn and for the hospital are working through those contracts. And the RFP, request for proposals, technically is being produced by medical staff on our side and on West Penn side. We would expect an RFP for the equipment to be out in a month or so, pending the signing of that formal master agreement that sews West Penn and Clarion together. That's a huge outcome for us, and it greatly enhances the quality of the service and the viability and the referability of our service product to other institutions and individuals.
So there's quite a technology link there and expertise that the hospital can jump on.
Absolutely. West Penn will bring all of their technicians, all of their medical staff, and most importantly, all of their information technology that refers information back and forth between and among specialists, does remote diagnoses, provides a continual update to all the software, which reduces costs for our hospital. It's a tremendous advantage on the technology side of the house.
And John, I know you've been active sort of as a side project in getting a high-speed internet service for Clarion County and beyond.
Oh, yeah, Ron, and we're still active in doing that. And that technology changes so fast, but what we're trying to do is make sure that there's an opportunity when there's something happens in that area that we're able to take care of it, So that's a big. The electronic medical records is a big asset to us and will be. So we want to keep on the edge of that and be able to help the community. Again, it's a partnership as well. We've talked about some other things, partnerships the hospital wants to have around the community, but we feel that community is going to give back to us, and we want to give back to the community. That's the one thing, and I know we're getting short, but I wanted to make mention. Joe talked about all the technical aspect, business aspect, but boy, to be in some of these meetings really and you talk with cancer patients and talk to the nurses at the cancer center and what they've done and how grateful that the cancer patients are to the nurses and the staff at the cancer center really touches you. I don't think I leave one of those meetings without a tear in my eye. I mean, to talk to these people, and that's what it's about. That's what the giving's about, is how it's going to touch our community, how it's going to touch your family, friends, and neighbors.
Thank you for joining us today in Clarion Connection. Any last words, Joe? And keep it short.
It'll be a challenge to do so. Thanks again for having us on. From where I sit, this is the most important project in Clarion County. Whether it's economic development, medical service, social services, this is the most important thing we can get done. I'm proud to be a part of this, and I encourage everyone to participate. If they have questions, please give us a call.
Thanks again.